So I was asked yesterday how I make the reels and TikToks for the Laravel News social media accounts. And I figured what better way than to just make a video of how I make reels and TikToks and YouTube. So we can cover them all in the same video here. So I guess I should prefix this. I'm Eric Barnes. I run a website called Laravel News. So it's all about news and media for the Laravel PHP framework. And if you know anything about the news industry, like you got to get stuff out quick. So everything I do is to try to get it out as quick as possible. Because when something comes across, it's like, oh, that's cool. We got to get it out. That way the community knows about it. At least that's the way I feel. And that's the way I run things. Um, so for hardware, which I guess is important, probably the most important actually, I have a microphone right here. It is a Shure MV7 Plus, I think is the name of it. It's a USB mic, hooks right in the computer. I don't have to mess with audio. It just kind of works. From there, I have a mic arm attached to the desk. That way I can slide it in and out. I have a big, huge dome light right here. It's, I think it's like an Amaran something, and then the light dome, it goes on top of that. From there, I have another light, and this one I use as sort of the background. So it bounces light off the ceiling and off the wall and lights up that bookshelf behind me. And that's really the only two lights I have. I don't have a, what do they call it? Rim light, key light. I don't have another light behind me other than the lamp in the corner. Camera wise, I have a Sony A7C II. I don't know if you need a camera that fancy, but that's what I have. And I have a fixed, it's either a 40 or 50 millimeter lens, and it's about, I don't know, 4 feet, 5 feet from my face. On the attached to that is the Elgato prompter, which I haven't been able to get to turn on in the last week and a half. So it's just sitting there right now, just as dead space. But I still try to talk into that part, and I gotta figure that out into the future. One thing I would say, though, is if you do get a teleprompter, get the biggest one you can, because I have the original small one, and when it is working, it's too small. Like, I would like a much bigger one, especially on Zoom meetings, things like that. The computer, I have a monitor, and usually the monitor sits actually in front of this camera, and then when I'm ready to record, I just slide it over here out of the way and look at it this way. So that's sort of my hardware setup. And then now for the software part and the actual recording part. So I use an app called Screen Studio, and it basically it records instantly. It's I guess it's comparable to like ScreenFlow or any of the other ones, but I've just been enjoying this one, and I like how it can do these little fancy animations. It is commercial. It's 29 a month or $9 a month billed annually. So basically, they're really pushing for the yearly plan. So, so if you do get it, I would go with the yearly plan. So I've already recorded one, and this is Screen Studio. This is after I've recorded a little video here. You can see I've got it set to vertical. I've got my browser window, and the cool part here is you can see it kind of zoom in. That's the part that I like the most. But where it falls short is this camera. So like right here, I can click this camera and I can move it around. However, it's always this browser window seems to always want to be in the center. And now it's going to cover up stuff, especially like when you're zooming, it's fine there, but like I just want more control. And especially if I go with the wide shot, like a YouTube video, like if I click the camera again, like I like this style where the camera's sort of vertical in the corner, but I want, in that case, I want this browser window pushed over, to the left, and you just can't do that in Screen Studio. So that part's kind of, eh, it is what it is. Maybe they'll fix that. So here's how I make a reel. So I've recorded it here, and then I want to take this actually to CapCut. So all you have to do is go to Export, Extract Raw Recording Files, and I'm going to throw this on my SSD drive projects. Whoops, that is not what I wanted. Let me do it again. Export, export raw recordings, and we're going to do a new folder. This has been my method 02, and today is the 26th of February. So we'll say real example. Let's create that and we will extract them there. Boom, there we go. We have all three files. We have my talking head part, we have my microphone, and we have the display on what was on the screen. So from there, all we have to do, open up DaVinci Resolve. This works in DaVinci, CapCut, Premiere, whatever you want to do. Like, we're not doing much in the editing app, but it's nice that, use the one you're most comfortable with. And I feel like I've been using this one more than anything. From there, you just want to import everything. And we are going to create a new timeline. And DaVinci, you have to actually reformat it because you're going to say we want a vertical resolution. There we go. And then let me go over here to the edit. We've got the talking head. So now we need the browser and we need the audio. Boom. There we go. So from here, first step, I always right click and normalize audio levels. And it's YouTube is what I've picked. It takes a second. That runs. Okay. The next step is what I like to do is I always like to talk to the camera for a minute or two. And then let me turn my volume down. And then from there, I'll start looking at the screen like right there. So then I make a cut. Boom, delete that. I'll go ahead and cut that video too. And then all I do is reposition. So like this, we're just going to zoom it down. Boom, somewhere like that. Move it up. Take my face, zoom me down, and move me down to the bottom. Something like that, maybe. I like to have spacing a lot of times. But the only problem is now this is a black background. So a quick way I found to make backgrounds is to use Canva. And all you have to do this is go social media, YouTube. I don't actually think you have to do this, but that already sets the size up basically. And then click background over here on the left and magic background. And you just tell it whatever you want to do. And I've already done one here. This one was dark abstract background with blue swirls. Pretty simple. It gives you 4 options. You can pick the one you want, and then you just export that. So I've already exported it. Where did I put that though? I put it in library graphics. Dark swirl. I think that was it. I don't know. It's good enough. Boom. Pull this in. Pull this in like so. And then all I do is move this track down to the bottom and make it stretch the whole width. So there you go. And that's literally how I've been making reels. And then finally, timeline, AI tools, create subtitles from audio. I usually use 18 for reels and TikTok, and then I use whatever the default is for the vertical for the YouTube videos. One thing though, I do have to go back and audit the captions because every time I forget, I notice that DaVinci can never realize that I'm trying to say Laravel, and it always does it wrong. So there you go. There's your captions, and then the cool thing is you can actually move these around. Let me do that first. So we'll click the caption track, and we want to position these. Whoops, wrong way. I think I want to position it up. Mainly, you want to position it. You want to do it when you're here, so that way you can see, exactly what it's overlapping. So we'll probably put it somewhere like that. And of course, in DaVinci, you can go through and change the size and color. But the cool thing is one of the new features is you can actually do an effect. Title, it's under titles, subtitles, and animated subtitles. I've been using this one called statement, and you're just going to drag this onto your track. And it does make it smaller. Okay, there it goes. So let me fix that. So all you have to do is come back over here, make that bigger, however you want it. And there you go. And then reposition to, higher. Reposition it wherever you want it. One thing when you are making reels and TikToks, you gotta watch the bottom and the side because, Instagram has well, actually, they both do. They have icons, and then they have stuff on the bottom. So you're the part you're actually wanting to focus on is sort of that middle part of your, uh, vertical videos. From there, you just export and upload, and you're good to go, and that's it. Like, it's pretty simple. Um, if you do wanna get fancy, another trick is in Screen Studio. I found this out. This works this does take a little bit more effort, but basically you take your background and you take it as a green screen, then you click your camera and you get rid of it. Boom. And now you can export this with a green screen, and then you can, remove the green screen in your editing app, and then you can do the zoom and all and keep whatever background you want. If you don't do the green, it will actually export with one of these backgrounds, and, you can't there's no way that I've seen to actually export it with, like, a clear background. So, the green screen is kind of a hack to get around keeping the zoom, but also, not having the background with it. So there you go. That's how I've been making, reels and TikToks, and actually, that's how I've been making YouTubes too, so it's kind of doing it for everything. Thanks for watching, and if you ever want any other workflows or anything else that I've been working on, just let me know. I am happy to help and to share. That's what makes us all better, I feel like, is sharing what we learn. Even though I'm definitely not a professional video editor, uh, it's still fun to share what I'm working on. With all that said, leave a comment, like, I feel like we've lost all that lately. Like, nobody comments anymore. So give me a comment. Tell me tell me you hate me or tell me you love me. Just kidding. Don't tell me you hate me. Uh, but thanks for watching and have a great day, everybody.